I had never believed in ghost stories or cursed technology. I worked as a freelance graphic designer in Seattle, Washington, and most nights I stayed awake until 2 or 3 in the morning finishing projects. One Tuesday night, after shutting down my laptop, I collapsed onto the couch. As I reached for the TV remote, the screen suddenly turned on by itself. I frowned, assuming it was another software update. Instead of the usual streaming menu, a local news broadcast appeared. The strange thing was that I had never installed any news channels on my smart TV. The broadcast looked completely normal except for one detail. A digital clock in the corner read 2:13 a.m. Tomorrow. Confused, I checked my phone. It was still 2:13 a.m., but today's date. Thinking it was a glitch, I kept watching. The anchor calmly reported traffic accidents, weather updates, and sports scores. Everything seemed ordinary until she paused, looked directly into the camera, and smiled. "Our final story tonight," she said softly, "concerns a man named Ethan Brooks, who will disappear tomorrow evening at exactly 8:47 p.m. My stomach tightened. Ethan Brooks was my name. I laughed nervously and grabbed my phone to record the screen, but the camera wouldn't focus. The TV appeared completely black in the recording, even though I could see the news broadcast with my own eyes. Then the anchor continued. She described my apartment building, my blue sedan parked downstairs, and even the coffee shop I visited every morning before work. Finally, she looked straight into the camera again and whispered, "If you leave your apartment tomorrow after 8:30 p.m., don't look behind you." Before I could process what I'd heard, the broadcast suddenly ended. The TV returned to its normal home screen as if nothing had happened. I searched every local news station online, but none of them had aired that program. Assuming exhaustion was making me imagine things, I went to bed. The next morning, everything seemed perfectly normal until I turned on the real morning news. The first 3 headlines were exactly the same as the ones I had watched the night before. The rest of the day felt like I was living inside a nightmare. Every prediction from the mysterious broadcast came true. The morning traffic accident happened on the exact highway the anchor had mentioned. By noon, the weather changed exactly as she had described, even though the forecast from every weather app had predicted sunshine. With each accurate prediction, the warning about 8:47 p.m. felt less like fiction and more like a countdown to my own disappearance. I considered staying home all night, but curiosity slowly turned into fear. I had to know who or what had sent that broadcast. At exactly 8:15 p.m., my smart TV turned on by itself again. The same news anchor appeared, wearing the same calm smile. This time, she didn't read the news. She looked directly at me through the screen. "You're still home," she said. "Good. That gives you 32 minutes." My blood ran cold. Then the camera behind her slowly zoomed out, revealing something impossible. The newsroom wasn't a television studio at all. It looked abandoned, covered in dust and broken equipment, as if no one had worked there for years. Behind the anchor, a wall calendar clearly showed the date, 1 year in the future. Before I could unplug the TV, the anchor raised her hand. "Don't answer your phone," she whispered. At that exact moment, my cell phone rang. The caller ID displayed my own phone number. My hands trembled as I stared at the screen. Against every instinct, I answered. For several seconds, there was only silence. Then I heard heavy breathing, followed by my own voice. "If you leave the apartment," it whispered, "you'll never come back." The call disconnected instantly, leaving me frozen in the middle of the room. A loud knock echoed through my apartment. 3 slow knocks. Knock, knock, knock. I walked cautiously to the peephole and looked outside. The hallway was empty. No footsteps, no elevator sounds, nothing. Just as I stepped away from the door, the smart TV flickered one last time. The anchor's smile disappeared for the first time. In a frightened voice, she whispered, "Don't let him see you through the peephole." At that exact second, someone knocked again from inside my apartment. I stumbled backward as the knocking echoed through my apartment. It wasn't coming from the front door anymore. It was coming from the hallway behind me. My smart TV had gone completely black, reflecting the room like a mirror. In the reflection, I saw someone standing at the end of the hallway. I spun around instantly, but the hallway was empty. When I looked back at the TV, the reflection had changed. The figure was now much closer, standing just outside my bedroom door. Then the screen flickered, and the news anchor appeared again. She looked terrified. "He's no longer in tomorrow," she whispered. "He's with you now." The apartment lights suddenly went out. Only the blue glow of the television illuminated the room. Across the bottom of the screen, a red banner appeared. "Breaking news, Seattle man missing. Live coverage begins in 14 minutes. Above it was my photograph, my full name, and my apartment address. The anchor looked directly into the camera and said, "Everything you're seeing is being broadcast tomorrow. Right now, you're making tomorrow's news." My heart pounded as every security camera in my apartment suddenly appeared on the TV screen. I watched myself standing in the living room from angles that didn't even exist. Desperate to escape, I grabbed my car keys and ran toward the front door. Before opening it, I glanced through the peephole. My blood froze. Standing in the hallway was me. Same clothes, same face, same terrified expression. But the other version of me slowly smiled. He lifted one finger to his lips and whispered, "Don't open the door." I stumbled backward in shock. A second later, my phone buzzed with another emergency alert. It wasn't from the government. It simply read, "The wrong Ethan is inside the apartment." Before I could even breathe, the television switched to a live helicopter view of my building. Police cars surrounded the entrance while reporters shouted into their microphones. The anchor calmly announced, "Authorities have arrived after receiving reports that a dangerous intruder is hiding inside apartment 407. Then she looked straight at me and added, "The problem is, they don't know which one is the intruder." At that exact moment, someone outside shouted through a loudspeaker, "Ethan Brooks, come out with your hands up." My legs felt weak as I slowly raised my hands and stepped toward the apartment door. The police kept shouting for me to come out, but something felt terribly wrong. Just before I unlocked the door, the smart TV switched on one final time. The news anchor was no longer sitting at her desk. She was standing outside my apartment building, holding a microphone. Behind her, flashing police lights illuminated the night exactly as I could see through my window. She stared into the camera with tears in her eyes and whispered, "You're 30 seconds away from becoming tomorrow's headline. If the wrong Ethan opens that door, you disappear forever." Suddenly, every screen in my apartment came to life. My laptop, my tablet, even my phone. They all displayed the same live news broadcast. Then every device showed the exact same image, a security camera feed from inside my living room. I was standing near the front door, but there were two versions of me in the room. One stood frozen beside the TV. The other slowly walked toward me from the hallway, smiling exactly the way the figure on the news broadcast had smiled. The fake Ethan looked into my eyes and calmly said, "Tomorrow only has room for one of us." Before I could react, the apartment lights exploded, throwing the room into darkness. I lunged toward the front door and pulled it open. Police officers immediately grabbed me and pulled me outside while shouting for everyone to stay back. I turned to point at the apartment, desperate to show them the other Ethan. But through the open doorway, the living room was completely empty. The officers searched every room and found no one, no broken lights, no second person, no evidence anyone else had ever been inside. One detective frowned and asked, "Who were you talking to?" I couldn't answer. I wasn't even sure anymore. The next morning, exhausted and unable to sleep, I turned on the real local news. The anchor greeted viewers with a serious expression. "Breaking news," she announced. "Police prevented a possible tragedy last night after responding to reports from an apartment in downtown Seattle." Then she paused and looked directly into the camera. "Authorities are still searching for one missing resident." A photograph appeared on the screen. It wasn't mine. It was the face of the other Ethan, the one who had been inside my apartment. Beneath the picture were the chilling words, "Last seen tomorrow." I moved away from Seattle a week later and never plugged in another smart TV. Months passed without another strange broadcast. Then, one rainy night in my new apartment, every light in the room flickered at exactly 2:13 a.m. My brand new television powered on by itself. The familiar newsroom appeared. The anchor looked older now, exhausted, as if she had been waiting for me. She gave a slow, sorrowful smile and said, "Good evening. Tonight's top story concerns a man who thought he escaped yesterday." The camera slowly zoomed out, standing silently behind her wearing my clothes and smiling into the lens was me.